AICC ആസ്ഥാനത്ത് കോൺഗ്രസ് നേതാക്കൾ മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ കാണുകയാണ്. അതിലേക്ക്.
We all know that Shri Rahul Gandhi has been speaking out fearlessly inside and outside Parliament. He has spoken on social issues, on economic issues, on political issues without any fear or inhibition, frankly and candidly through you to India. Clearly, he is paying a price for it. Clearly, this government is rattled because he speaks with facts, figures on demonetization, be it on a supposed clean chit to China, be it on GST. He is consistently aggressive and open in his questioning. And therefore, this government is doing all these, finding new techniques of throttling his voice, of gagging him. Shri Rahul Gandhi goes abroad. He is not entitled to speak freely on grounds of fake nationalism, created imaginary nationalism, rhetorical nationalism, non-existent issues. He comes back and his speeches abroad become the basis of action against him inside Parliament. He speaks in Parliament, one of the most detailed and open speeches when the Prime Minister spoke, and he is referred to the Privileges Committee. After he came back from abroad and post the recess, when this session starts, a remarkably new ground is found, unheard of in the annals of parliamentary history. The ruling party resorts to disruption every day, saying a precondition for someone to speak in Parliament or attend Parliament is that he must first apologize. I don't think in any parliamentary democracy, Westminster or not Westminster, you have found this kind of stipulation. So disruption by the ruling party. All of this is part of a pattern. All of this is part of a pattern to stop him. A, because he speaks fearlessly and candidly. B, to divert attention from the real issues. To divert attention from the questions which my friend here asks every day. To divert attention from the burning issues before the nation today. And it is done also to send a message to create a fear psychosis amongst those who dare to question this government. Friends, that is the political part. That is what should concern our body polity. There is equally a legal part. I have shared some of that with you yesterday. Since we've had slightly more time, let me elaborate a little more today. When you hurry, when you are premeditated, when you have decided to do something, you make mistake after mistake after mistake. You multiply mistakes on a repetitive basis. Take for example, the alacrity with which you are moving. Within 24 hours, you are moving with amazing alacrity. I need to remind you that a few months ago, in a case of another political leader from Uttar Pradesh, belonging to the leading party in that state, the Supreme Court, quote unquote, when an immediate by-election was sought to be announced post disqualification of that person because of conviction, immediately, without waiting for that person to exhaust the legal remedies available, the Supreme Court in that case not only deferred the by-election, but then added, look with what alacrity have you proceeded. This is yet another example. But it gets curiouser and curiouser. As I told you yesterday, there is a provision created in law specifically called 202, which says if allegedly I commit a defamatory offence in place X, in this case Kolar, Karnataka, And if somebody chooses to sue me in Gujarat or Bihar, as in this case Surat, then the magistrate before whom a complaint is filed is mandatorily, I repeat, mandatorily obliged to conduct a preliminary inquiry as to whether he has jurisdiction to start and initiate the procedure. Sir, I mentioned another example yesterday. I have the dates now. Let me walk you through it. The complaint is filed approximately in April 2019. I think the exact date is April 16, 2019 at Surat. The magistrate is one Mr. Dave. On 2021, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, in 2021 year, 2 years later in June, appears in the court to record his statement in person. Shri Rahul Gandhi appears in that court. In March 22, that is 3 years after the complaint is filed, and 1 year after Shri Rahul Gandhi appeared there, the complainant files an application against someone Rahul Gandhi. When that application is rejected, possibly by a firm magistrate, obviously he had been called, he had come a second time, you cannot harass people to come again and again, he rejects it. At that point, the complainant rushes to the High Court and gets a stay of his own complaint. The High Court grants that stay on 7th of March 2022. So I file a complaint, I seek a stay of my own complaint. Perhaps days are not auspicious, the climate is not ecologically suitable. Now this same complainant, after a hiatus of 11 months, when he has no interest in his own complaint, suddenly wakes up and goes on 16th February this year, seeking a vacation of the same stay which he himself obtained. And I quote, he pleads, and you must all read between the lines. We will of course take all this in the appeal, we have legal records. Quote, he says, sufficient evidence has come on record of the trial court and the pendency of the present matter delays the trial. Pendency of what matter? His own High Court petition. He says he is delaying his own trial. So he says, please vacate. Now the sentence is, though sufficient evidence has come on record, no new evidence has come on record, actually. The High Court vacates the stay, the man rushes back to the trial court, and we get this judgment. Meanwhile, the magistrate has changed. We were not born yesterday, neither you nor me. Chit bhi apni, pat bhi apni. There are many more disturbing features about this case. There is a point which we may or may not take. I am not saying that everything Rahul Gandhi needs to take because he is fearless, he knows in his conscience, he has full reliance on the law. But there is a debatable issue. I am only flagging the issue, which I did not mention yesterday. That though the conviction is by a court, in Rahul Gandhi's case, the disqualification under Article 103 of the Constitution has to be by the President of India.